different landmarks and assigned groups. So one of the groups had Gamble, just to give you an idea of some of the different things. They kind of had a start site where I had different websites linked to it that would have more information for them, several YouTube videos that they could watch, and then eventually they got to their scavenger hunt piece, and there were multiple slides like this that would give them questions. So they might go back to their links, there might have been a link directly on this page. They had to find the answer with their group, and then there was usually a bonus task, like this one was to insert a picture. Some of them were extra questions. And then at the end of each of their sessions, I also gave them just a couple blank slides already in there. Did you find out anything else you want to share with the class? Because the point of this was for each of them to become an expert on an area, and then kind of jigsaw, be able to share out that information to the rest of the class. And this was just the area where we put in the blue screen photo, or green screen photo eventually, which they loved seeing themselves there, so that was really cute. Quickly too, another one we did, and again the whole link is there for you as well, just to give you some more ideas, was we did one where we went both under the sea and we explored the shoreline. So in that case I had 2 longer destinations, so I still split them up into a few groups. I think I had like 3 groups that did one type and 2 that did the other. So in this one, I have some links to help you with this too. I had actually created a custom Google map, and we can talk more about that later, that had different places already pegged and marked for them to go look at. And then half of them focused on Hammonasset, and this time I dragged in a few other areas too. So first again, we started with the Google Maps, the walking around, the looking, what do you see, kind of getting used to the place. We were studying rocks and minerals, so I found some information about the rocks that were at Hammonasset, so we were bringing in our science. They had to do some scavenger hunt questions there. We were working on animal habitats, so I actually linked some of the habitat information, goes back to a Google site that I had made that had some of their own presentations on there, so they were also pulling from previous work they'd already done. I even used it, we were doing area and perimeter and map, so I showed them how to use the ruler tool and measure out, it was really one of the parking lots, but it was a parking lot I outlined, so they had to find the area and perimeter of the parking lot. So it still kept them in the virtual field trip. We were able to do it all day long because we hit all of our subject areas during the day. And then just some of the videos that kind of brought it into where they went underwater. So again, they have the Google map. They had some different areas to visit that were in Google Views, and that's another one of the resources I'll show you guys in a minute. One of the other things I did with all the virtual field trips I've done is we've done some fun element in the class. So when we did the Yukon one, Yukon had the dairy bar. So we had ice cream at the end of the day to celebrate. When we did the beach one, we put all the tables against the wall. We brought in beach towels, and we had like a beach scene up on the smartboard. So finding little ways to make it just that little bit more authentic for them, since you can't really go there. What I pulled together, obviously like I said in the video too, the search bar is your best friend. The first thing you really want to do too, make sure no one else has done it. There are so many great virtual field trips that are already put together out there that you might find. In my case, I didn't think I was really going to find a great one about Yukon or really Hammonasset. They're not huge places like something you might want to pick in DC or like a big city. Using slides, docs, and sheets to organize your work and organize things for the students was great too. And then kind of 3 different things that are all related. You've got Google Maps, Google Earth, and Google Views. And we've gone back and forth, actually Jesse and I, discussing really the pros and cons between if you're going to use maps or if you're going to use Google Earth. I feel like if you're releasing a lot of it to the students, especially in that like later elementary age, Google Maps is great because you can link directly to a point on the map. You can link directly to